Hey, what's up, BSec? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm trying to make it through the day. Trying to make it through the day.
I
I've
hear you. Let me
been
let me
under the weather all week long, man.
yeah, turn your volume up just a little bit. I can't tell if it's like my music being too loud or your volume being too low.
Maybe it's me not close enough to the microphone.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Hey, guess what? This is Jaw Jack. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jaw Jackin. We got a special show today. We're going to have a tag team back again. Whoop. There it is. Okay, so me and BSec are going to be doing our jaw jacking for the next 30 minutes. Ask us anything you want. We'll share stories. We'll answer questions. We're here to help you. BSec, how you doing?
Oh, like I said, I am trying to get over the weather and not under the weather. It's been a crazy week. Got lots of stuff going on at work, and then on top of that, getting sick. It does not help out.
No, it certainly doesn't. Are you? Was it a creepy crawly from the kids' school?
I believe so. Both of my kids came home last week, and they were like congested, and I was fine. And then like Thursday, Friday, my throat hurt, and then Saturday, Sunday just took me down. So
Oh, that's gross. That sucks. I love it though. All right, hey, so good to see you on the recovery. All right, what kind of questions everybody got? I'm gonna put some music on here. I do like having that kind of like cool vibes. How's that volume for you, BSec? Good?
yeah, that's fine. I hear everything, and my mic is as high as it can go.
All right. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and maybe it's a restream thing.
Mod chat is popping. I love it. All right, guys. Let's see what kind of questions everybody got. BSec, did you see all the content that's going down today, brother?
Yes, all day long. It sounds like we got something for everybody, like every couple of hours.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like a Simply CyberCon. It's almost like Simply CyberCon. So hey guys, I want to ask chat, like, has anyone heard of prefetch analysis? Because I never heard of it. I felt like a goober when I read it, and then when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is super powerful. JK Illadelph, my show's coming out. It's tentatively scheduled for August 2024. It's actually gonna premiere at Black Cat, and there'll be like a red carpet event at an AMC movie theater. I'll be there shaking hands and high-fiving people. Probably, maybe I won't be able to shake hands because I'll have 2 beers, one in each hand. So maybe it'll be more of an elbow bump. I don't know. So that's when that's going down. All right, I'm going to try the music.
I see a question. It says, "What's your favorite?" Oh, that's going to be for you.
What's the question? What's your favorite Magic the Gathering card? Oh yeah, all day long. Sheldred. Yeah, I mean for the current meta, obviously Sheldred. Old school. I don't know. I used to have a soft spot in my heart for the Vice, which was an artifact, or actually the rack. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Prefetch analysis, like PF files. I think so, Reed Hurlbert. So here's the deal. I guess Windows operating systems, by default, when a process executes, it keeps track of like 8 things that happen right before it and 8 things after it or something like that. So because it has that logging by default, this isn't in an event viewer. This is like somehow, operating system tracks it. You can pull those files in, and using this tool that I'll show in the video, you can literally just look at it super clean and see all of the nonsense happening. It's kind of nuts. Is Sigma still relevant? BSec, do you use Sigma? Sigma is still relevant, but
No, I don't use Sigma at all.
All right, I'm going to turn the music off because I literally can't hear you when the music's on, which is kind of crazy.
Maybe it's the way a restream is with people talking over each other. Maybe since you've come in first, you have it the highest.
Maybe. I have echo cancellation turned on, audio gate, whatever. We'll just do it this way, and hopefully it won't cause a problem. So Sigma is still relevant. For those who don't know, Sigma is an ability to take rules, IOCs and stuff, and make it translatable to any sim, essentially, right? So If I haven't used them in a while, but Sigma rules are relevant because no matter what your tech stack is, you can ingest it, right? So that's what's up with that. Also, we could talk to Eric Capuano or even Bryson Bort later today about Sigma, but yeah, Sigma is still relevant. All right, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Okay. I can almost, all right. So Carrie says, I'm almost done with Cyber 101. I have to get the deep dive to pick something in cyber. Just wondering, I found Google AI Essentials. Wondering if that's good take. It's a new class. Yeah, I mean, Google's AI Essentials, Carrie, would be good. I'm assuming I haven't vetted it myself. But what I would say is this advice is for Carrie and anyone else. Like, if you're looking to break into the industry, you can complement a nice, robust, fundamental path with something like Google AI's class. But I would not, like treat the Google AI class as the main learning path, right? Like if you're going to be a GRC analyst, for example, you've got to learn how audit works, what frameworks there are, what standards are being audited against. If you are going to be a SOC analyst, you have to understand what a SIM is, how certain tools work, the prefetch analysis, detection tuning, like get those skills. Like, here's my point. If you just did the Google AI thing and you didn't know how to do audits or frameworks or anything, and you go into an interview, they're like, oh, cool, I see you understand some AI stuff. And you're like, absolutely. They're like, all right, how would you audit a company that we're looking to do business with relative to their AI? And you're like, I don't understand how auditing works. Like that's the fundamental skill, foundational for that role. And then you complement these different skill sets and knowledge pieces like AI into that. So anyways, it's basically, I recommend you do it, Carrie, but don't do it in lieu of some other training. Do it in parallel. BSEC, any thoughts?
All right. Am I louder now?
You sound good to me.
We'll see if everybody, I'm like screaming in my ears right now. In fact, let me turn my mic down in my ears because it's so loud. That's exactly how I feel right now. Like I'm screaming, woo!
All right, go ahead.
With Carrie stuff, I just think he needs to stick with one and go for it. Make sure you quit trying to grab everything and work in a silo. Do one thing at a time. Make sure you've got one thing down.
100%. Like I'd even suggest, Carrie, and everybody else who's in chat right now, make like a 6-month training plan. And like, what's the goal you want? I want a GRC analyst job by the end of the year. Okay. What is a training plan to achieve that goal? Then execute on it. One thing that happens all the time in cybersecurity, I mean, less in the individual professional development and more in just the industry. And BSEC can definitely attest to this. Like, especially CISOs do this, the business does it. They chase the shiny object, right? Like, it's so common to like buy a new technology, rack it and stack it, and you're feeling all proud and like, yeah, bump in the chest. And then you move on to the next thing and you like didn't configure Security Onion, or you didn't put staff on it, or you didn't train anyone to use it. But you're like, we got Security Onion up in here. And it's like, yeah, and it's a freaking pass-through device. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're not even using it.
Yeah.
There's no use to it. And a lot of, just like you said, like C-suites, upper management, you got to think they become non-practitioners in that sense, and they see those shiny objects, and then they come to you, hey, let's get this and put it in, when you really have no use for it at that moment. So here you just spend $100K on something that you haven't spent time to learn, but oh yeah, it's in. We've got it in there. So let's put a check mark on when the security assessment comes, or when somebody asks, are we doing some type of technology? Yep, we have it. Don't know how to use it, but it's sitting here.
Exactly. I unfortunately, I've seen that so many times. Or they'll like shoot their whole budget on acquiring the technology without even thinking about like training cost money or person power, right? So like BSEC works 75 hours a week already. Hey, we got funding for this new, Gigamon technology, or this new tripwire thing, or this new DLP or whatever. Don't worry, we got BSEC. He can do it. And it's like
when?
Yeah. Like when? Or like, when will I do it? And then for training, like, when am I supposed to go do training, right? And we even had a joke, like, just real quick. Here's another thing that a lot of people in chat will probably hashtag preach with, especially the olds. Like, if you go to training for a week to learn a new technology, or you go on vacation, looking at you, JMod, when you get back, you get punished for not having been at the desk. Like, you have like 1,000 emails, a bunch of like, oh, we need this by this time. Like, they don't, like, the business doesn't care that cyber's on vacation. So, or IT is on vacation. So, good luck. Good luck. Next question, GRC budget question. What are some good project suggestions to consider for GRC budget? Fernando Vallejo asks. BSEC, you want to go first? You want me to go first on that one?
Oh, I was reading Carrie's. What was the question again?
What's some good project suggestions to consider for GRC's budget?
Oh, GRC. So GRC budget, to me, a GRC budget would be like assessments and so forth. You have to have an assessment. There's maybe creating a some type of ROI report that you would give up to upper management or to the C-suite, explaining why you need to have an assessment, why assessments need to be put in place yearly, and then maybe quarterly follow-ups. That would be a great project to start off with, because then you can take that to them and say, hey, this is where we should be. Plus, it feeds into everything else that the company's going to end up doing in the end anyway, right? Having all of the different types of assessments in place, having the different types of man, I'm so jacked up on medicine right now that I can't think.
You're doing great. You're doing great. 100%. Yeah, BSEC's right. Like, an enterprise risk assessment, that's a solid investment. And literally, if you, like, anytime a new person comes into a role, a new CISO, new director of infosec, the first thing they're going to do is an assessment, because you got to figure out what the heck is going on there, right? Additionally, I would argue that rolling out, it's not really a GRC thing, but rolling out multi-factor authentication is a good idea. Getting, like, again, so GRC is more on the governance side and the business side. But a lot of times, GRC people will get hired into smaller businesses that don't have an infosec capability. I'm just thinking back the few times that I've done it. Multi-factor and MDR services are good. That's not a GRC thing. That's a SOC thing. But as a GRC person, you need someone watching, right? We got a super chat here. James, hold on one second. James McQuiggan.
We just become best friends. Yep.
We need that feature from the Matrix where I can upload all data and information into my brain at once. How crazy would that world be? Greetings from Sacramento for 2 presentation day, AI and how hackers hack. Thanks for the super chat, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. I do want to let everybody know James McQuiggan sent me a photo live from seat 3B on the airplane yesterday. So he is at 35,000 feet. All right. Thanks for that. BSEC, any final things on that?
Yeah. What we were saying, in the GRC sense, it doesn't like, you're not doing it practically, but you're putting the policies and procedures in place for it to be done in the practice. So that what you're writing, what you're putting in place, the whole governance, risk, and governance and risk is allowing you to put those policies in place and then get buy-in by the upper management, by the C-suite to do MFA, to do those risk analysis, to set up those specific policies for the company moving forward. So you're putting them in a better position moving forward. So that's what you want to write in there, is how putting something like this in place is going to move the company forward.
100%. I see Will Reed is in chat right now. Will Reed has got a podcast coming, and I got interviewed for it the other day. Good to see you, Will Reed. Crinkles at Crinkles Scott B says, to get a definitive answer on debate in Discord, you can get CPEs live or on Team Replay, correct? Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. With the CPEs, you need to check the policy for CPEs for the organization that you're submitting the CPEs to. Having said that, instructor-led webinars, it doesn't say live instructor-led webinars. If you take training on demand, it still counts. So yes, Team Replay. it's just there's a level of integrity and ethics involved, right? You can't just click on Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief May 2nd, watch 1 second and be like, there's a CPE, I got it, right? You gotta be honest to yourself, right? All right. Yes, Jameson Quicken was eating low country food. I loved it. Have you heard, hey, BSEC, have you heard of prefetch analysis or the prefetch audit stuff?
No, I have not. This was the first time when you said that, I was like, what's prefetch analysis?
Dude, when you see it, it's insane. And he made up a nice little lab, like there's like questions and solutions and stuff like that. I'm gonna link to it really quickly so we can go rate it when it's time. Speaking of budget, we saw Jen Easterly and Sissa asking for budget in the Daily Cyber Threat Brief news. Do you ever use FUD? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
I use it every day.
Oh, okay.
So in my position, and in a lot of people's positions, like that are going to be practitioners and so forth, you get to the point to where you're trying to explain stuff to people. You try to tell them, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and you find that most employees or most users don't necessarily listen. They just keep going off and they're like, oh, it's just the IT person, it's just the guy over in security, so and then you bring something to them and show them that something happened, and then they all freak out. So sometimes you have to bring the fear, uncertainty, and doubt into them for them to actually take hold of the policies that you wrote for everything to work. So yeah, I use it a lot.
All right. Well, there you go. I said it was a tool in the toolbox that you pull out occasionally because you don't want to overuse it. But BSEC is dropping it in here every day. Doom and gloom. Like, do you wear like a cloak and carry a scythe to work too?
A black hood, yeah, a black hoodie, and I'm sitting here with it over my head while I talk to everybody. No, I mean, you'll find is that in the corporate environment, that a lot of the stuff you put out as a practitioner, as in IT or as in cyber, people just don't pay attention to it. If it's not coming from the C-suite, if it's not coming from their upper management, they don't really care, it seems like. So then when you turn around and you say, hey, look, here's company X that does business just like we do, and something happened to them. Here's a person that is over in your area, and it just happened to them. They start realizing, oh, well, maybe it does happen. And then they start paying attention to what's going on. You've got to figure out a way to get them to actually be engaged is the issue.
100%. We got a question. What is FUD? Do you want to describe FUD, BSEC?
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So you want to put that's us going and telling you, making you afraid of something for you to pay attention and listen. You have the uncertainty of not knowing what's going on, and then you doubt whether or not it's valid.
Perfect. All right. The music's pretty loud now, drowning out DJ BSEC. Let me go ahead and turn that down.
Not to be skewed with FOMO.
I will tell you, I don't know if it's like seasonal or something, but in the comments lately, I had someone in the comments tell me that just you're lousy. So I thought that was funny. And then someone said someone yesterday in the comments also said why does it take you an hour to do the news? Just give me a 6-minute version. To which I just linked them to the CISO series.
Yeah. It takes an hour because we're discussing it.
Yeah.
So we understand it. If I just wanted to read headlines, we'd go read headlines.
Seriously.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues right now is everybody is so I got to have it right now type of thing. And they all read a headline and they don't actually find out what's in the meat of the story. So you see a headline and it's like, oh my God, so-and-so got hacked. And then you find out that they got hacked because they had 3389 wide open. They had no security, no MFA, nothing. So it's like, of course, I would expect that. And there wasn't some big hack there.
Exactly. That Change Healthcare Citrix thing yesterday. Hey, what are your thoughts about LastPass spinning off and staying as LastPass. Did you have any thoughts on that?
I think you hit it on the head. More than likely, what they're probably trying to do is I could see them spinning it off and then throwing money at security, right? Throwing and saying, that they're doing all of this stuff for security wise, and then trying to sell it off.
Yep. It's
try to build it up and get rid of it.
Straight cash, homie.
Yep.
Lazaro Rivera, good to see you. Lazaro says, questions based off the recent Arcane Door campaign regarding Cisco, but can perimeter networks have EDR solutions in place? If not, then how would you protect them or detect activity? I mean, I have an answer for that, but that's more of a, I see it's brought on stream.
Yeah, I put it up there.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this one, BSEC? Or I could take a cut at it if you want.
Can perimeter networks have EDR solutions in place? Of course, anything can have an EDR solution in place.
Yeah, but you can't install an EDR on like an ASA.
No, but like a lot of those now have antivirus solutions built into them.
Is that right?
So can
you expand on that?
Yeah, so like I know, for instance, with Palo Alto, they've got antivirus solutions built into them. They've got Wildfire, so anything coming through there, it's searching for signatures of stuff coming through automatically, and will grab it. And I think if you have Wildfire on Palo Alto, it will find it and it will send it back to Palo Alto to research it. So you can put stuff into Wildfire and then it'll research it. They've got antivirus that are already built into it. I would assume Cisco's ASA has the exact same thing. I don't even think it's ASA anymore. I think it's something else. But I mean, your endpoints now, your firewalls are not just your run of the mill. I mean, this is your whole next gen, right? They're not just a run of the mill. Hey, let's put some ACLs in there and we're going to pass traffic. It's actually tearing down that traffic because they're all layer 7. It can tear down that traffic, see what's in there, look at the signatures, and then pass them on through, if they're good or not prior to. So it does have, I know Palo Alto actually has its own EDR solution as well. So it may not be directly into the firewall itself, but I know that they've got that through, I think, Cortex. But yeah.
Yeah. So I knew about Cortex because Cortex is their EDR solution. And honestly, going back to what I said earlier, that's one of those examples of a consolidation where they acquired it before it was Cortex. It was called, what was the EDR solution? AMP. It was called AMP.
AMP.
Yeah. So now they got that, but I knew about Wildfire. I thought Wildfire was looking at C2 or IP addresses, network traffic. I get that it can go up into layer 7, but I did not realize it had EDR capability. So, I mean, what's it looking at? It's not detonating the malware on the...
No, I think it's all signature based.
Oh.
I believe it's all signature based. So it can look through and look for signatures in there. We can do a deeper dive into it, but as far as I know, like they have the ability to add antivirus. You can add antivirus into the Palo Alto firewall. You can add certain things within the actual box itself that is searching through that traffic.
All right, there you go. So you're learning more every day.
And you can also set up, I mean, this gets even deeper, but you can set up certificates on there that HTTPS traffic comes through. So anything SSL related comes through, gets torn down and looked at, and then packaged into an SSL and then out to the user, right? So that traffic comes in as SSL, and then the firewall itself unpackages that whole certificate, the SSL itself, to read what's in there, and then we'll repackage it back and send it back out to wherever it's going.
Yeah, but if you were to do, I know this is getting deep into the weeds, y'all.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. So if you do that though, then you have to have basically encryption, decryption. So wouldn't users in the environment get a notification that the certificate that they're using to go to like Amazon.com is not actually the accurate one, because you're basically doing a man in the middle attack?
No, you don't, because when it comes in, so you have the Amazon certificate right here, right? It comes into the firewall tears it down, looks at it, makes sure everything's good, and then we'll put everything back together and then send it back over. So your user never ever sees it. It just uncrypted, does it all, and then puts it back out and puts it into wherever it's supposed to go. user A.
No, I know, but I mean the certificate. Well, the symmetric key that's negotiated with the certificate is between the host and the web server. How is
Right.
the PA? How's the PA?
You have your own certificate on the PA that then
Yeah.
gets it and will send that certificate to the, so that certificate is on all of the users' machines moving forward, right? So it comes from Amazon, it hits there, it's torn down, and then the certificate that's on the PA packages it back up, sends it over to the user, and it's none the wiser. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of how it's all torn up.
I'd have to look into that a little bit more because I mean that was a capability that was available for enterprises to basically for DLP purposes at one point, and I didn't like the rub was always that the clients or the end users, your staff, would get alerts saying like this certificate doesn't match, and it was because it was coming from the PA or the DLP solution.
I
And
know about 5 years ago I put it in place just to test back and forth, and I never got an issue. I never had an issue. Nothing ever popped up saying that. So I have to look deeper into to the certificate teardown. But
yeah, Robert Rittenhouse is saying the same thing here. You got to push certs out to the clients. Very cool. So see, guys, you learn something new all the day, every day. I got a question from Suyu D. For security awareness for senior citizens, preferred products, password vaults, firewalls, external hardware, firewalls, antivirus, other use of products. So BSEC, if you were going to go and talk to your grandmother and her friends, or your grandfather and his golfing buddies, and they were like, hey, what's this security thing? Passing fad or something I should do about?
or my mother.
Oh, your
mother-in-law.
What might you set them up with? What do you think?
My phone number?
Call me directly. I like that.
That's pretty much it. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. My mom actually had an issue where she did something on Facebook and somebody sent they were trying to get crab legs, and they were like, oh yeah, you can get them for like half price, and they did it, and it cost them money. Luckily they used PayPal and they were able to get all their money back. It was some type of scam. For me, I just tell them if something's too good to be true, don't do it. I mean, when I was a kid, you told me the same thing. I'm 45 years old, and I'm telling you, you're in your 60s and 70s. Why am I telling you? You told me when I was young, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Guess what? If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
100%. Yeah. And I think a little bit of onboarding for password vaults, for me, whether it's, your parents or your kids or your colleagues or whatever, onboarding a password vault is a little full of friction. But once you get it, it's super awesome. And once you take your phone and make the password vault the default password credential holder, logging into stuff is super smooth and super easy, and you avoid all of those reused passwords and other stupid stuff like that. So, yeah,
I would say when you get to their age, though, they're not worried about password vaults. Most of them have a notebook that everything's written down in.
Oh, yeah. So that's another hot take. I actually don't have a problem with writing down your passwords. If you write it down at the office, that's a problem. If it's in your home, someone would have to physically break into your home and steal for your password. It's just the likelihood is low. Because if they're going to break into your house, they're not there for your passwords. No, with all due respect, right?
Yeah. Give me your password.
Yeah.
Where's that notebook with all your passwords?
I love it. All right. So what, BSEC, what kind of, projects, what kind of work you got going on? Anything you going to any conferences? I know you're going to Wild West Hack and Fest.
Yeah, I don't have anything set up, before then. We've got a lot of stuff. I just have a lot of stuff going on at work. In fact, once we drop here, I'm probably going to go put some network equipment in, set some stuff up, check over some security, and then hopefully come home and take a nap.
Yeah. You're pushing. You're burning it, hard.
Yeah.
Huh?
Burning on both ends of the candle.
I love it. So I know you've been on Jesse Johnson's Slay Security Plus in the past. He's got it tonight. What do you think of that initiative?
I'll be on there again tonight.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
yeah.
What a bonus.
Joseph and I'll be on there tonight. I think J-Mod was trying to sneak on there too. We'll see. I love it, man. I mean, when I first saw Jesse, I think he had 7 or 8 people, maybe 10 people, and I think last week when I was on there, we had over 30. Just people coming, asking questions. We kind of changed the way Jesse changed the way the format was, where he was doing questions and then bringing people on afterwards, to more along the lines of kind of what we're doing right here. We're talking, we bring up a question, we go through the question, give a hot take on it real quick, and then move on. And then if somebody has a question or doesn't understand, then you go ahead and address it right there. But I think the way it is great. It's kind of something like you do in a Discord, right? But we're doing it live on YouTube.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Just a reminder too that this Friday, it's the first Friday of the month. So on the Simply Cyber Discord server, we will be doing a live AMA event. We do it every first Friday. It's not recorded, it's not streamed, so it's a little bit of a safer space if you wanted to, show a little bit of vulnerability and not feel intimidated. You can either ask in chat or you can come on stage. It's a great little thing that we do.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Come and stump us.
Lewis Hay says, is there a way to get experience with implementing ISO 27001 or auditing without paying $3,000 for the course?
27001, that's mainly a Europe thing, right?
Yeah, I see it mostly implemented in the European space. ISO, here's the thing, like ISO is, I want to call ISO like a throwback to yesteryear when things were pay gated. There are great frameworks that are free. So just like there's great training that's free. So as far as experience with implementing and auditing ISO 27001, honestly, I don't think that there's a way to do it for free and be legal, right? So there's like some cracked PDF versions out there you can download that's, not legal. But
wasn't ISO brought in with all the Enron stuff?
No, that's SOX. Yeah, Sarbanes-Oxley.
Sarbanes. That's what.
Yeah, no, ISO like is here's a reality check for everybody. ISO's fine, but it's actually kind of deprecated in the way it's approached. And no matter what framework you choose, whether it's CIS 18, NIST CSF, ISO 27001, the 80% of them are all the same. Like 80% is the same. So like if you were like NIST CSF and you had to pivot to ISO 27001, chances are you're already 80% of the way complete. They're not that fundamentally distinct. You're going to look at access. You're going to look at data. You're going to look at backups. You're going to look at business continuity. You're going to look at risk. You're going to look at vulnerabilities, awareness training. Like it's all the same. All right. So Jazzy Jazz says, have you heard of the Farm and Food Cybersecurity Act? I had not, but I did see the question in chat. I downloaded it, dropped it in ChatGPT, and then told ChatGPT to give me a summary. So now I'm smart on the Farm and Food Cybersecurity Act of 2024. It's basically, just so everybody knows, this Cybersecurity Act, it's basically trying to appropriate $1 million per year from 2024 to 2028 to allow CISA to help audit the Department of Agriculture. Since agriculture is critical infrastructure, I feel like energy, finance, communications get a lot of like the pub, healthcare with critical infrastructure. But if our supply chain for food goes down, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So I heard that when I saw that, I was thinking the whole John Deere thing where you couldn't go in and fix your own tractor. John Deere wouldn't let you fix your own tractor.
Yeah. No. It seems like much more of a crisis simulation exercise, tabletop exercises around food-related cybersecurity emergencies. Again, I don't want to get political or tinfoil hat on this, but if this is being proposed,
it doesn't seem like that much money. $1 million.
You might think $1 million is like a lot of money, but not for the entire United States farm and agriculture.
Yeah.
Big farm? Is it? No, big pharma is
big pharma. Yeah. We can call it big farm. We can make something new. Big farm.
Big farm. Well, if Kathy Chambers was in chat, we could do that. Hey guys, the stream just dropped for the premiere. So what's going on over there? If you would, BSEC, I know you got a boogie, so hopefully you can come check the prefetch thing.
Yep.
Come to Premiere. I'm going to drop a link right here. Simply Cyber Raid. Eric Capuano said he might be in chat, so we'll see that, guys. I'm Jerry. Your chat. BSEC, thanks so much for Jaw Jackin. Hope you feel better, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, hey, go to the Premiere right now. We'll see you in chat over there. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the Jaw Jacking. Be sure to check out the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing happening every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., where you can get the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, network with other professionals, and then stay for the Jaw Jacking just like you saw. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. See you in the next one.